Okay, so the FA Cup final this Saturday between Man City and Watford, and I'm going to make a prediction for you. It's probably one that's going to surprise you, but there we go. Just quickly run through the journeys that both teams have taken to the final. And I think it's fair to say that both of them have really had an easy run through. Man City, I think, have scored 20 goals on their run in. They beat Rotherham 7-0. Burnley 5-0, they beat Newport 4-1, Swansea 3-2 and Brighton 1-0. So no big teams in there and some pretty convincing victories. Watford, they've scored 5-7, they've scored 10 goals on their run in. They beat Woking 2-0, Newcastle 2-0, QPR 1-0, Crystal Palace 2-1, and Wolves, they beat them 3-2. So again, they've had a pretty easy journey in. There's a couple of ominous facts for Watford. Watford have lost their last 10 matches against Man City, so they're pretty low on confidence when it comes to playing Man City. Also, when the two teams have met in the FA Cup, I think the last 3 occasions Man City have beaten Watford and knocked them out of the competition. And looking at how many times they've been in the final, Man City have been in 11 times, although they haven't been in the final since 2013. Watford have been in the FA Cup final twice. I think it was 35 years ago when Graham Taylor took them to the final back in 1984. So again, all the signs are showing that Man City will feel more comfortable there. So if you were to add all this up, most people would be plumping for Man City to win. They're on for the treble, they've won the Carabao Cup and the Premier League, missed out on the Champions League. There's talk that they'll be as hungry as ever for the third one. Watford, there's a real big incentive for Watford to get a victory. If they beat Man City tomorrow in the FA Cup final, then they will get Europa League football next year. So that's a big incentive for the players, for the club, for the manager, for everybody involved with Watford. So I think that's going to be a big help. Man City come off the back of the Premiership win a week ago, and that's a big high to come down from. The FA Cup, yes, it's a special tournament, yes, it's a big cup, but it doesn't hold that same glamour as it used to. Will all the Man City players be up for it as much? I'm sure Pep Guardiola will be really driving them on in the changing room. But deep down, they've won the Premier League. That really was second in line. The Champions League has been missed. So I think they'll face a little bit of a come down to the FA Cup final. That's taking nothing away from the FA Cup final. It still is a glamour cup. But my prediction is it's going to probably shock a lot of people, but I'm going to go for Watford to win the FA Cup final this year. Now, it's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it will go to extra time and then to penalties, and I think Watford will come away with a win. As a neutral, to be honest, I don't really care who wins, but it would be nice to see Watford. It's always nice to see the underdog. I think if you remember, Man City lost to Wigan 1-0. That was a big upset in the FA Cup finals. So I'm hoping that Watford can do it tomorrow. Just as a neutral supporter. Sorry, Man City fans out there, but you've had your two wins this year, and let's just hope Watford can grab a victory.